Good morning. I hereby call to order this third meeting of the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission for the year 2016. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The first matter on today's agenda is the approval of the minutes for December 17, 2015, and I know we are all waiting eagerly to hear from Commissioner Whitmer.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I have reviewed the minutes of Thursday, January 28th in the year of our Lord, 2016, with Kesha, and we say, free the minutes for approval as submitted.
We have a motion from Commissioner Whitmer to approve the minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
I'm not sure we're all second.
Do you know who she is?
Not a clue.
But we will trust your judgment.
Right.
We have a second.
Always trust your judgment.
That's right. We have a second from Commissioner Powelson. Any discussion, aside from asking who Kesha is? Okay. No discussion. All those in favor of approval of the minutes say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes pass. Thank you. 5-0. And now we will call on our director from the Office of Special Assistance, Cheryl Walker Davis, to lead us through today's agenda.
And good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
May it please this honorable commission, on behalf of your various offices and bureaus, we present for your consideration and disposition the following agenda items. Commencing this morning with matters on behalf of the Bureau of Consumer Services, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the Bureau's recommendation with regard to PECO Energy Company's Universal Service and Energy Conservation Plan.
Do I have a motion to accept the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Whitmer, second by Vice Chairman Place. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Turning now to matters on behalf of the Office of Special Assistance, commencing on page 2 of the public meeting agenda, it is recommended that the Commission adopt the 2 items appearing on page 2 through and including the recommendation in the formal complaint proceeding involving Robert Sarver versus Barnes Professional Limousine Service, LLC.
Do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Coleman, second by Commissioner Whitmer. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
At the top of page 3, we recommend the adoption of OSA's recommendation in the proceeding involving Stephen and Diane Van Schoik versus PECO Energy Company, noting the statement of Commissioner Whitmer.
Do I have a motion to accept the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Vice Chairman Place, second by Commissioner Powelson. And under discussion, I would recognize Commissioner Whitmer.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would like my dissenting statement read into the record as if I'd read it in its entirety. Before us today are the exceptions of Stephen and Diane Van Schoik in response to the initial decision of ALJ Stephen Haas granting the preliminary objections of PECO and dismissing the complaint. We are facing a situation, and there will likely be more, as other EDCs get to the end of their legally required implementation of smart meters, in which consumers are alleging a variety of reasons why they do not want a smart meter installed. In the case before us, the Van Schoiks alleged that PECO installed the smart meter without their consent and adverse health impacts. I am voting no today, remaining consistent with my previous votes on this issue, because Act 129 mandates universal deployment and provides no opt-out option for EDCs that have more than 100,000 customers. The Commission approved PECO's smart meter installation plan, and there is no exception in Act 129. Therefore, we cannot provide the complainants with the relief that they seek. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Whitmer. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Noting
Me.
Commissioner Whitmer. So the motion passes 4-1.
It is recommended that the commission adopt the OSA recommendation at the bottom of page 3 in the proceeding involving the petition for reconsideration of the Philadelphia Gas Works with regard to the commission's order pertaining to its distribution system improvement charge, as well as the 2 items appearing on page 4 through and including the recommendation involving the interconnection agreement of United Telephone Company of PA LLC, DBA CenturyLink, and Local Access LLC.
Do I have a motion to adopt the staff recommendations?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Whitmer, second by Commissioner Coleman to adopt staff recommendations. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
Turning now to matters presented on behalf of the Bureau of Technical Utility Services, it is recommended in omnibus fashion that the commission adopt all of the recommendations, commencing with the recommendation in the matter involving the electric generation supplier license cancellations appearing at the top of page 5, continuing with the remaining items on pages 5 and 6 through and including the last matter on page 6 pertaining to the commission's investigation upon its own motion into matters pertaining to the proper safety of the traveling public with regard to Lighthouse Road and where that crosses the track of Norfolk Southern Railway.
Do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendations?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Vice Chairman Place, second by Commissioner Whitmer. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
And on behalf of the Law Bureau, on page 7 of the public meeting agenda, it is recommended that the commission adopt the item there appearing with regard to Early Bird Power LLC's petition for reconsideration.
Do I have a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Powelson, second by Commissioner Coleman. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes 5-0.
That does conclude the presentation of regular agenda items. Turning now to the carrying agenda, it should be noted that with regard to the proposed policy statement on combined heat and power, we've got your joint motion, Madam Chairman, and Commissioner Powelson.
Thank you. I am going to turn this over to Vice Chairman Place to preside.
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to recognize Chairman Brown for the purposes of the joint motion. Chairman.
Thank you. We are submitting our motion in its entirety for the record, and I will, on behalf of Commissioner Powelson and I, summarize our motion. In light of the potential benefits to the public of combined heat and power, we are interested in considering ways to advance the development of CHP in Pennsylvania. CHP is an efficient means of generating electric power and thermal energy from a single fuel source, providing cost-effective energy services to commercial businesses like hotels, universities, and hospitals. We believe there are several areas where electric and natural gas distribution companies may be able to implement policies and practices that reduce barriers to such development. With this motion, we propose a policy statement that establishes a reporting requirement for the EDCs and NGDCs regarding their efforts to eliminate obstacles to the development of CHP in Pennsylvania. The purpose of this proposed policy is to promote CHP investments, encourage EDCs and NGDCs to make CHP an integral part of their energy efficiency and resiliency plans, as well as their marketing and outreach efforts. To encourage these companies to design interconnection and standby rates for owners and operators of CHP facilities, and to promote the consideration of special natural gas rates for owners and operators of CHP facilities. The Commission held en banc hearings on CHP at Drexel University and the University of Pittsburgh in the spring and fall of 2014, respectively. Witnesses representing a cross-section of the community interested in CHP testified at the hearings, including consultants, electric and natural gas distribution companies, universities, as well as CHP system owners and advocates. These hearings reinforce the Commission's understanding that a coordinated approach to CHP may provide real benefits to the economy, the environment, and the security of residents and businesses within the Commonwealth. For these reasons, we propose to require utilities to submit reports on their efforts to support the development of CHP. EDCs and NGDCs will report on their efforts to promote CHP with a particular focus on critical operation, customers, energy efficiency, and reduce costs to consumers. Furthermore, the reports will provide information on any tariff provisions that support the development of CHP. Finally, utilities will provide information in the reports on interconnection processes and fees. The Commission has a responsibility to promote energy efficiency, the reliability and security of the electric and natural gas distribution systems, and control the cost that consumers pay for electric and natural gas service. Therefore, we move that the Law Bureau prepare a tentative order consistent with this motion. 2, that the tentative order, including Appendix A to this motion, shall be published in the Pennsylvania Bulletin. That comments shall be due within 45 days following the publication in the Pennsylvania Bulletin, with reply comments due 25 days after comments are due. And that the Law Bureau, with assistance from the Bureau of Technical Utility Services, shall review the comments and reply comments and all the information provided therein, and shall present a final order to the Commission for consideration.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Whitmer. Any discussion? Seeing none? All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Place.
With there being no further matters for consideration, Madam Chairman and Commissioners, that does conclude the presentation of agenda items.
Thank you. Before we adjourn from our meeting, there are a couple of very important items that we would like to bring to your attention. The first being that February is Black History Month, and we, the PUC, have served in a few decades as the lead agency in holding the Commonwealth Black History Month program. Yesterday was the first part of the program that was held at the Forum Place, and we had a great turnout and a great program, and we want to thank our Director of Special Assistance, Cheryl Walker Davis, for her leadership in that. But also, there is a reception to be held in the Keystone Building this evening at 4:30. It is open to the public, so we please ask you to attend. We will have the heads from the 20 or so different agencies that are joining in on this efforts with us that will come and give a few words concerning this year's theme in terms of Black History Month. So please join us at 4:30. And finally, we would like to acknowledge York Water Company. I had the opportunity on Tuesday to attend their 200th anniversary program down in York, and it was a great program. First of all, it was a beautiful building that you have. So I do want to thank Jeff Hines and JT Hand, who is here, and we also just want to congratulate them, because we know that York Water Company was in business over 100 years before even the PUC. So that's a great accomplishment in and of itself. And it was formed to provide the best, they call it the good water, York Water Company, the good water. So we just wanted to give them a proclamation, and I will take the opportunity to read it today and then present it to you. Whereas York Water Company is the result of a unique public-private partnership created in 1816 by a group of local leaders currently employing 106 people. Whereas the York Water Company serves as America's oldest investor-owned utility and oldest publicly traded company. Whereas 192,000 people in 48 municipalities in York and Adams counties benefit from the company's water service. Whereas the company obtains its water supply from the south and east branches of the Codorus Creek, which drains an area of approximately 117 square miles and has 2 reservoirs, Lake Williams and Lake Redmond, that together hold up to 2.23 billion gallons of water. Whereas York Water Company is the biggest manufacturer in York and Adams counties, delivering an average of a ton of water to customers every day through 1,000 miles of pipeline. Whereas clean and potable water is necessary to maintain the health, safety, and comfort of Pennsylvania citizens, therefore we, the Commissioners of the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission, join in congratulating the York Water Company for 200 years of service to Pennsylvania. And I just want to congratulate the president that is here, who is here with us, Jeff Hines, and also his Chief Operating Officer, J.T. Hand, and we want to present this proclamation to you. And we want to give Jeff an opportunity to say a few words.
Well, thank you for your kind remarks, Chairman and Commissioners. I just wanted to bring a little bit of history. This is, as you pointed out, it was we started business in 1816, and the actual your predecessors, the Public Service Commission, started in 1913, and that's when we became regulated by your predecessors. So it took you 97 years to catch up to us. But this is our original tariff number 1. No supplements, just tariff number 1, dated December 31st, 1913. And it's a wonderful old document. At the time, 1,000 gallons of water cost 30 cents if you had a meter. It's now about $4. But we also charged an extra 50 cents per year for each horse, cow, and automobile that you had. So we'd like to thank the Commission. So we don't think, because of our records are cluttered before 1913 with frivolous lawsuits, hostile takeover events, and various challenges, that when the Commission was formed, those were wrapped up. So we'd like to thank your predecessors, the Commission, for providing some unity to the utility field, because without you, we probably wouldn't have lasted 100 years, let alone 200. So we'd like to thank the Commissioners for all your efforts. Thank you.
We also want to give Commissioner Powelson an opportunity to say a few words. As you know, he is our leader here at the Commission dealing with the water industry, so we want to give you an opportunity as well.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair, and I think it should be recognized here this morning. I think all my colleagues would join me. You know, anytime you celebrate 200 years, you know you've been doing something good. Not many, Fortune 500 companies have been around for 200 plus years, and it's a testimony to not only your founders, but at the cooperative relationship you've had with your regulator. And I look out at Jeff, and I can hearken back to my first visit, as the chairman mentioned, beautiful building in downtown York. And that building is very unique. It was an old community bank that was, as I recall, was going to go by the wayside to become something else, and the York Water Company stepped up and made it its corporate headquarters. But what impressed me about that building is customers can walk into that building and pay their bill. And they can go see Jeff and JT and others, and that is a very unique culture that the company has created. And what is also impressive, and I know Commissioner Whitmer has done some cyber outreach with JT, and JT, I remember we had you at a NARUC water panel, is your leadership. Here's this, I call it the York Water Company, the little engine that keeps moving and doing the boring really good. But I look at Jeff, and many of you don't know this, he's a proud Bucknell graduate, but also he has served this country with distinction in the United States Army. And JT, I know you're also active with the U.S. Army, and we thank you for your service to this country. More importantly, your service to York County. And Jeff, I know you You mentioned all the trials and tribulations, and yes, it was never smooth sailing at times. I know this big honcho up in New York wanted to take you out back in the day, and you survived that, and it's made you a better company. And I saw your counsel, actually he's on the board of directors, but Mr. Gang is in the audience, and I think he was clerking back then in 1896. That's where he really cut his teeth on rate of return. That's where actually I think he wrote the with Norm Kennard and former Commissioner Cawley the rate making handbook, which edition number 3 is going to be coming out here soon. I'm just kidding, Buck. But let me just conclude by saying this: we are blessed to have world-class investor-owned utilities who care very deeply about bringing safe, reliable, and affordable water service to customers. I need not remind anybody in this room, and this is not a good example, this is a better example. This is the only public utility that we ingest. And if it isn't right, horrible things happen. And we know what those events are like. Flint, Michigan, Toledo, Ohio, Wisconsin, a tragic event. So, Jeff, to you and to your entire management team, to the employees, I wish you all the success in the company's future. We all do. And you know what? 200 more years, and if they find out how to make us carbon-44 test it, we'll be back for that 200-year celebration where it'll be 400 years of just unbelievable service to the citizens of York County. And again, congratulations on this milestone accomplishment.
And with that, we will adjourn our meeting. Meeting adjourned.